good evening. Welcome to Meditate with Marie, where I am live from a beautiful lakeside location in County Durham. Let me leave a comment. What shall we do? Let's do a mermaid. That'll be a good one. All right, so I'm here to do a live mindfulness practice as part of the Positivity Project 2022. I'm just going to give it a moment to allow people's notifications to come through and see if anybody's going to join me live. But as always, with all the videos throughout this project and any videos that I ever do live, there's no obligation to turn up as I film them. Most of the time I don't even tell you guys when I'm going to film them. I just randomly, spontaneously feel like going live. Actually, better silence my phone. I did plan this one though. I thought, seeing as I'm coming over here anyway, can you guess why I'm here? I would bring my phone with me and we would do a lovely live mindfulness practice. So I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. I've just been sitting here for the last literally half an hour practicing mindfulness and just soaking up the atmosphere. It's really lovely. As you can see, there's people on the lake. Actually, I don't know whether you can see them from that angle, but there is people on the lake. There's people paddle boarding and they're in little boats. There's people swimming. There's dogs around. Bramble's with me, but she's a bit spooked. I don't think she likes the paddleboard noises. I think she finds them a bit, what's the word, like it unsettles her. Anyways, so if you hear Bramble panting in the video, my apologies. She is okay though, she's just relaxed right next to me. So it's a glorious night here as well. It's very, very hot. Can you guys guess what I'm doing here? Because I am combining today's two themes, nature and exercise. That's right. I'm not here just to show you an earthing sequence. After I've finished talking and filming, I'm going to go for a swim in the lake and it's going to be awesome. So nature, why is it so good for our mindset? It's just so beneficial physically as well as mentally to be outside and connect with nature. You can't beat a bit of fresh air, a change of scenery. It's a great place to exercise, whether you're walking, biking, swimming, doing yoga or any other kind of exercise outside. It's really beneficial. There's just something really uplifting about being out in nature. For me personally, I find it very, very restorative. If I'm stressed, anxious, or just feeling a little bit down on myself, a bit of time in nature I just feel like a different person by the time I go home again. And I think it's that kind of sense that when you're in a stressed state of mind or an anxious state of mind, you can feel like you're in a bubble. You can feel like it's just you and you're the only person in the world who feels that way, and it can be quite isolating, especially if you suffer from panic attacks or anything like that. So what I find is when I'm out in nature, it really shrinks my little bubble and I feel like such a teeny tiny part of something much, much bigger than myself. I also feel very spiritually connected to the earth and things like that. It's just great to know, you know, this water, this lake, these trees, this earth, it's been here hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of years. Who knows? But all this nature is so much older than us, and it's part of a really big connected web. And you know, it just makes our short time here as a human on the earth seem small. And I don't like to use the word insignificant, but insignificant really. You know, we're just a teeny tiny drop in a huge big ocean, and that kind of perspective can really help shift a stressed mind or a stressed state of emotion. You know, what everything I've ever worried about, it turns out I didn't really need to worry about it. And most of the stuff I've been the most worried about ever, I probably can't even remember it now anyway. So, you know, everything's temporary, everything passes, and being out in nature really helps me connect to that sense of perspective. So I just wanted to come share that with you. And of course, we all know that the benefits of exercising, not only good for your physical body, but really, really good for your mindset too. It's a great way of busting stress. It's a great way of shifting out any stagnant energy. And it's a great way of stirring up some fresh energy. And you know, we always feel good after doing exercise, don't we? And I just love that. So combine the two together and you're on to a huge winner. Anyway, let's move on because we are here to practice mindfulness. So I'm going to invite you to either watch and learn as I go, or maybe go outside, take your device with you and allow the sound of my voice to guide you in your own mindfulness practice. When it comes to the sound element, you are going to hear a lot of sounds on the video that are from around me. But one of the most beautiful things about mindfulness, which essentially is about being in the present moment, is that you observe without any kind of expectations. So I cannot come here and expect it to be quiet and expect it to be a certain way. You just, however you are, wherever you are, you can tune into the present moment and just observe whatever's going on. And we start with our surroundings because it's quite grounding. And then if you like, you can look inwards and observe how you are mentally, emotionally, even physically, without trying to change anything. And the best way to focus on the present moment is with the breath. So I'm going to invite you guys to watch and learn. I hope that something is valuable, and let me show you how it's done. So we're going to start by observing 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste and touch. And I might not do it in that order because I quite often forget. Here we go. Whenever I practice mindfulness, I kind of just take a moment, begin to breathe and set the intention to be present. And then I'll start with, what can I see? And I will look around me and observe colours, shapes, different sizes of things maybe. And then I'll take a moment to observe perhaps what is the smallest thing that I can see. And then what is the biggest thing that I can see. And then moving on to sense of sound. See if you can identify the different sounds that you can hear. Maybe you like to count them. So I can hear bramble panting, the water, a rooster, the distant sound of people chattering, birds singing, and even my own breath. I can hear the sound of the leaves in the gentle breeze behind. And then I might ask myself, what is the quietest sound I can hear? Usually my breath. And what is the loudest sound? And this one's quite nice to do by closing your eyes as well, you know, really tune in. And then I might explore what's the most high-pitched sound that I can hear? Or what's the deepest sound? So we're already beginning to become very present and calm the nervous system. So we've done sight, sound, we move on to smell. And again, this is quite a handy one to do with the eyes closed if you can. So you just breathe in, what can you smell? I can smell the water, but somebody just further down the shoreline here is having a bonfire. Hi Paula, thanks for joining. So I can smell, it's like a barbecue-y type smell. Okay, and then I might go for, I can't smell anything else. Or maybe a bit of like a sweetness, there's not really flowers around. Actually, there is a few flowers. But I can smell the plants and the trees and the flowers, so it's quite a sweet smell. So you might ask yourself, you know, what kind of smell? Is it sweet? Is it sour? Is it something else? Is it citrusy? Very sweet. By the way, I've seen a lot of dragonflies here, and that's so beautiful. Teeny tiny blue ones, bigger yellowy browny ones, and even big red ones. So we've covered sight, we've covered sound, we've covered smell. We then go on to touch and taste. Let me do taste first because that's very easy and quick and simple. You just focus on your own mouth and you think, what can I taste? My fruit juice that I've been drinking. Hi Darren, thanks for joining. I can't tell you publicly where I am, but I can tell you privately. I'll tell you, PM me, or I'll tell you when I see you. Okay, so that's taste, and then we go for touch, right? So you focus on what you can touch, and if you're out walking, you might want to stop and touch something. So I'm sitting on the ground here, I'm touching the earth, and I can feel it. So you begin to touch and observe. I'm also barefoot, by the way. We're going to do some earthing in a minute. And whatever you're touching, again, you can close the eyes if it helps, but you observe the temperature, maybe. Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it neutral? And you observe how it feels. Is it wet? Is it dry? Is it soft? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Anything. So it doesn't have to be the ground. You can pick something. Maybe you want to pick a flower or a leaf or a pine cone that you see on the floor. Paulie, yes, I can PM you too. So yeah, anything you touch. Hello. Beautiful. And then when you think you've observed as much as you can about anything that you're touching, you know, focusing really on texture. Sometimes in the winter, if I don't really want to stop and touch anything, I might just feel what the inside of my gloves feel like or something like that. So that's 5 senses physically, mostly externally. We're already very grounded, we're already very present, and if you continue to focus on your breath as well, it's very beneficial. But then, you know, if you're in a position, it's not always practical, so you can leave this bit out, but if you're in a position where you can, you could maybe close your eyes and just observe how you feel on a physical level. You can scan through your body and just notice. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling achy? Are you feeling tired or stiff? But the most important thing is that you don't judge yourself. You just observe. You know, it's kind of like accepting what is without trying to control or change anything. And then you might scan through how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. Is the mind busy? Is it calm? Is it quiet? And any thoughts that are coming in, you know, what kind of vibration is that vibrating at? Let me do it. How am I feeling? Physically, really good. Warm. I'm warm. Mentally, I'm actually very calm right now because I'm focusing on this task. As I drove over here, my thoughts were very monkey mind, very busy, but now I've been here practicing mindfulness for some time. I'm just very calm, very chilled. Emotionally, I feel content and happy, which is great. About an hour ago, I probably felt a little bit like I had PMS brewing, a bit stressed, but, you know, mulling over some events that have happened in recent months and feeling a bit frustrated at that. But that's all gone now, that's dissolved. You know, thoughts come and go, like clouds in the sky. They come, they go. And what's really nice if you can just acknowledge them and then just let them pass. So without trying to force anything. I think when you spend your time going, I hate feeling like this, I don't want to feel like this, and you create a resistance to whatever there is that is, you make it worse, you make it harder. So it's easier just to accept things as they are and know that everything is temporary, all moments will change. So there we go, that is my live mindfulness practice. Let me see what you're saying. Paula, Paula's just got in from work, and I know that I am earlier. I'm going to try and do my evening videos around 9 PM, but I'm earlier today because I wanted to come here specifically, and I wanted to be here and do this before I go swimming because I didn't want to be cold off the cold water afterwards trying to do this later. I'm also going to meet a lovely group of ladies who have a Facebook group. They're going to be here in about 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, and then I'll go swim with them. So I wanted to just do this and give you guys my full attention first, and then I'm going to go and rock my positivity practices, nature, exercise, mindfulness. I'm going to go and rock that vibe after. So I also said that I would do a grounding sequence. I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate for you a yoga sequence. It's called the earthing sequence. It's very, very grounding. I've done it on yoga retreats with the very lovely Lynn and Roy Moore, who practice Drew yoga in Durham. Very beautiful people. They encouraged me to do my yoga teacher training, actually. I love them so much. So earthing is really about connecting to the earth and being present, but it's most beneficial to do barefoot. So I'm going to just step back there barefoot. I might adjust because it is a bit stony, but when you stand on the earth barefoot, you literally connect to the earth and you absorb negative ions into the soles of your feet and into your body. Now, negative ions, they're not negative. It's positive energy, it's healthy energy. And scientific studies have actually proven that if you spend 10 minutes a day with your bare feet on the earth, you boost your immune system massively. So this is really, really good for you. I'm literally going to demonstrate this. If anybody does decide to do this, just know that I don't advise it unless, you know, you're healthy and you know you're okay to do this, or maybe check with a doctor first, just for, you know, health and safety's sake. We quite often do this in my yoga classes, and it is one of the much easier things to do. So we're going to go through, I'm going to demonstrate a series of moves with a 4-part breath, and this is where the earthing grounding really comes in, because we're connecting our bare feet to the earth, but we're using the breath to move. And it's a sequence that kind of looks like this. So we have palm facing up and another palm on top, and as I breathe in, I'm going to raise my hands up around about chin height, and then when my body's ready to breathe out, I'm going to turn my hands over and push the palms down. And on the next in breath, I will raise them up towards the sky, and as I breathe out, I will send them wide and come back to the start. Now, you can do this 3 or 4 times in each position. I'm going to do it standing, each side, then I'll add a squat and then a forward fold, and that is the earthing sequence. Allow me to demonstrate that for you now. I'm not going to talk you through it, I'm just going to breathe, flow. You guys are welcome to watch. Hope you can see my feet. Okay, here we go.
I like looking at the boys, you know what I mean? I've got to turn around. I weigh 9 stone, so I can probably stand up on this one now. look at that out gringo. Then I'll wait for him to fucking sing. Look at the back, man. It's got an upstream or downstream. No, I was doing it too much. I wouldn't start that.
there we go. That is the yoga earthing sequence. I'm just gonna have to show you guys Bramble. She's so good. She's just sitting there chilling. There she is, look. Who's a good girl? Bless her. It's been a hot day, but it's cooler in the shade here, and it's nice by the lake. It's gorgeous. As I was doing that, I saw birds, butterflies and dragonflies flying around, and it just makes me smile so much. It's really beautiful. I just want to apologise for any bad language that you may have heard in the background. There's some boys further down having a bit of a party, and they're a little bit wasted, but they're enjoying themselves. They're not hurting anyone, so I apologise if anybody's offended by the language that was that you may or may not have heard. Paula, oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, absolutely. Give it a try. And I tell you what's really nice, right? I'll just show you this. If you notice how you're sitting, if you're kind of leaning over hunched like this, whether you're at a desk or watching your phone and things like that, you're not breathing properly or fully. You're constricting the lungs. So when we stand up straight and upright, we then open out the lungs a bit more and we allow ourselves to breathe properly and fully. Add conscious breathing to that. So subconscious is where you're just kind of just shallow breathing, you're not even aware of it. When you consciously breathe, you maybe breathe in a little bit fuller, a little bit deeper, obviously without straining. And you just allow the body to absorb more oxygen. So when we go through that earthing sequence and I'm moving like this, when I lift my arms up and I breathe in, I'm really allowing the ribs and the chest to expand. So I like to take a nice deep breath here. And then let it all go. And that's one of the reasons why this sequence is so much more beneficial, because more oxygen is so much better for the body. That's why, you know, well, there's thousands of reasons why I love yoga, but it's one of the reasons why I love it a lot, because when you hold your posture better, it improves your posture and everything, but you can just breathe better. And some people say that's why people who practice yoga regularly and consistently, they generally have like a youthful appearance as well. And a lot of the breath practices and the breathing in properly and, you know, using the body so you can breathe well, that is one of the reasons why yoga is so beneficial. Also, a lot of the postures give you a nice flush of blood to the face, and you just nourish all the cells in your body. Every single physical and energetic system is nourished by it, you know. But it's just my kind of exercise. I love it. Hi Louise, thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm very calm tonight, aren't I? I'm even aware of how I'm talking. I'm very calm. I can't tell you publicly where I am, Louise, because it's a private lake and people do have permission from the farmer to be here, but they do ask that we don't advertise publicly where we are. But I will tell you privately. If you send me a little DM and ask, I'll tell you privately. And there is a Facebook group that join here for wild swimming. That's why I'm here. Let me check the time actually. 22. Oh, I've got plenty of time. Yeah, they have permission from the farmer to be here and wild swim. And, you know, there's a path where people can walk their dogs and people are here swimming, boating, partying, all sorts of stuff. The farmer just asks that everybody clean up their own litter. That has been a bit of a problem here lately, which is why we're no longer allowed to, like, say where we are. It's in County Durham. And I dare say a lot of people are going to have to come back here later and do a litter pick on behalf of the people that are partying here. I apologise for that if they do actually clean it up themselves. But I have heard there's even been signs put up by the swimmers and the farmers lately to try and discourage littering. But I don't mind picking it up. FYI, my mum, who's lush, she litter picks just for her sense of connecting to nature and connecting to God and to serve the community. She likes to litter pick just to be out in nature and soak up negative ions. So that's if you're not exercising, you can always do that. Okay, Paula, off you go. Louise, your screen is frozen. Mine hasn't. It's okay. So hopefully that will reconnect for you soon. But I'm going to go anyway. I need to pack up my stuff and I need to go around the other side of the lake and meet the girls. thank you so much for joining me here tonight. If any of you do practice a mindfulness activity outside later or even later in the week, please come back and comment. Let me know, let everybody else know who's watching the project how it was for you, how that experience was. And please remember, all of these practices are exactly that. They are a practice. Nothing is a perfection. Practice, practice, practice. And that's why we love them. No 2 days are the same, no 2 practices the same, but the benefits are always awesome. So I'm going to leave that food for thought with you. I will be live again at 7 a.m. tomorrow for day 3 of the Positivity Project 2022. We'll be covering our next 2 themes, which are going to be, let me think if I get this right, positive influences and nutrition. So that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, and I will be live tomorrow at 9 o'clock with some kind of video. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but we'll do something. Okay, so have a great evening. Thank you very much for joining me and sending you so much love. Bye for now.